It's been more than a week since Niantic released the new leveling system in Pokemon Go, and I've been seeing a lot of discussions online regarding whether or not this new system is too easy or whether or not it is too hard, and I wanted to share some of my own thoughts because I do think this system is still a pretty good thing for Pokemon Go. Hey, what's happening everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So, I kind of want to talk about the leveling system a little bit more. I know this has been kind of like the main topic of discussion on my YouTube channel, but I do think there is one more thing that I want to talk about, and that is the difficulty of the new leveling system. First and foremost, getting to level 70 is very straightforward, and yeah, I will say it's quite easy to hit certain levels compared to before. Like if you want to hit level 70, you just have to play the game, and if you're using your lucky eggs and if you're constantly grinding out raid battles and catching Pokemon with excellent curveball throws, you're eventually going to hit level 70 no problem, and you're going to collect a lot of really nice rewards along the way. But once you hit level 70, now you're faced with a whole bunch of really difficult tasks on top of collecting a whole bunch of experience. And I think for a lot of players, they already have the experience locked down, mainly because they've been playing the game for several years, and by this point, they already accumulated all the experience that they needed in order to hit level 80. But it's really all about these tasks, and I feel like these tasks are what's driving a lot of players to say that this system is incredibly difficult, or some players are saying, comparatively to what it took to get to level 50, it is actually quite easy. So I kind of want to share my own thoughts because I think at the end of the day, this new leveling system is still a really good thing for Pokemon Go, and it has certainly driven my excitement for the game up really high. I do think that for everything that Niantic has done with this new leveling system, I personally feel like it's not too easy, but it's also not too difficult. I will completely agree that compared to the tasks that we had going up to level 50, that these tasks are much easier. They're actually a lot more fun. And I think also to a degree, they're difficult enough where you're not just going to fly through them. And I think that's totally okay. I think for them to be able to, I don't know, like, if they were to add tasks like these, I would hope that they were not too easy. I would like for me to feel a sense of accomplishment, of feeling a sense of that my efforts actually produce something, that I actually earn every single one of the levels that I get after 70. I mean, even right now, I'm working towards level 71, and I'm finding that it is actually incredibly grindy. It's not necessarily difficult, it's just grindy. It's just involving a lot of catching and a lot of ball throwing, because I need to get 999 nice throws. And I think for some players, when they say it's difficult, maybe they're saying it's just too grindy. Maybe that's what they mean. But in my opinion, I think it's totally okay. For some people, maybe they would use the same logic to say that it is too easy. Rather than giving us challenging content that involves all different aspects of the game, they're just having us do very mundane things, and just a lot of it. And that is why they feel like it's just a little bit too easy. I can understand both points. I can totally understand both sentiments, but in my opinion, I think this is totally okay. The reason why I say that is because if they were to have tasks that involve just an intense amount of grinding, that means you're going to need to spend a lot of time getting these tasks done. And I think that's the whole point of it. Every time I log into the game, every time I'm catching Pokemon, every time I'm going out and doing raid battles, I feel like I'm contributing towards a really big goal. And I know that for some players, that might feel very redundant. It might feel like it's not exciting gameplay per se, but I think it's totally okay. I think one of the big issues with the original leveling system, the one that had all these tasks for getting to level 50, it involved forcing you to play certain areas of the game that you were probably not interested in, particularly PvP. I think for a lot of people who just do not care about PvP, they were forced to suddenly have to do PvP with very extreme measures. I think there was one task where you had to win PvP battles with certain kinds of Pokemon. I don't actually remember what it was, but there were also tasks where you'd have to complete Team Go Rocket battles, I think leader battles with Pokemon that were only up to 1500 CP. So I think a lot of players saw a lot of those tasks and they thought it was just too difficult, that it was only for a certain subset of players, and you know, it basically prevented you from getting to the levels that you wanted to get to because, well, it's forcing you to do things that you have no interest in doing. So I think they took a lot of that out. I know there is that one particular task that involves PvP, so it's not like they completely removed some of that stuff. But I think overall, this is a much better system because even that task, it says, I think it's like you have to win 50 PvP battles. I think that's totally doable for pretty much any player. You could just tank your rating, just lose a whole bunch in a row, and then you'll be able to win a whole bunch in a row. It actually works, you know? So yeah, I just feel like if you have any complaints regarding this new leveling system, if you have any gripes with it, I can totally understand some of those sentiments. But I do think they need to get credit. They deserve a lot of credit for this system. I think it's actually a really good thing for Pokemon Go. Honestly, like compared to even a month ago, I felt like the game was very boring. I felt like the game didn't really offer much. And content-wise, yeah, I still think it doesn't offer much. I mean, aside from Mega Rayquaza Raid Day, it doesn't feel like the raiding content is that substantial. I know some players out there are going out and trying to do solos of Genesect. I think that's a lot of fun if you're able to pull it off. I think some players out there, they just simply feel like the game is what it is, that it's not meant to have exciting content constantly, and I agree with that. But at the end of the day, the game did feel like it was getting redundant. It didn't feel like anything exciting was happening in the game at any given moment. It didn't feel like you were doing anything that was contributing towards something. I mean, essentially all you were doing every day was just logging in, completing a bunch of chores because of FOMO mechanics. Nowadays, it totally feels different. And I think it's because of this leveling system. I think every time I'm logging into the game, I'm looking for Pokemon. And I'm not just trying to catch the Pokemon, I'm also trying to get nice throws. I'm also trying to complete various different tasks. I'm trying to make sure I have 50 platinum medals, which I think I already do, but you know, people are now paying attention to that. People are now caring about those platinum medals. And a lot of that just involves a whole bunch of grinding. Stuff like the collection medals, like you have to catch a certain amount of each type, you have to collect just a sheer number of Pokemon to get the collection medal to platinum, whether it be Jogger, where you have to travel certain kilometers. People are actually working on those medals, and it feels like it's actually contributing towards something. So yeah, it just feels like the game is in a much better place because of this new leveling system. I don't think it's too hard. I don't think it's too easy. I think it's kind of in a Goldilocks state. That's just my own personal feel about it. I know some players might disagree. I know some players actually enjoyed the original leveling system. They felt like the challenge was actually something that made them feel engaged. I totally get that. But at the same time, as someone who did hit level 50 before this new leveling system, I will say I did not miss that old system. I did not miss it at all. There were definitely some moments where I just felt like this was just too much. It was just something that I was just not enjoying at all. And I feel like they took a lot of that feedback and created something that actually works. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about this. I know this is going to be something that will drive a lot of different opinions, but I just wanted to share my own personal thoughts. And I know there's going to be players out there who will disagree with me, and I think that's totally okay. In any case, that's going to be it for this video. Definitely share your thoughts regarding the new leveling system down below. Again, this will probably be like one of my last videos that I do regarding this leveling system. It's going to be old news within maybe a week. I totally recognize that, but I just wanted to share this before I do stop making videos on the new leveling system, and maybe you can get something out of it. If you did, make sure you share your comments down below. I would definitely like to see them. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that notification bell so you know exactly when I upload videos. And real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Content channel, the best way you could do that is going to be by joining my Patreon. And if you decide to become a paid Patreon member, I'm going to add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids, the friendship system, opening and sending gifts, different things like that. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. I'll put a link to it in the description below. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you can do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms you see right now on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow, and that'll be a huge help to my channel, and you'll have access to some exclusive content, and you'll be able to keep up with my daily life. And that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch you all later. Jinsula